Human life, the paleontologists and anthropologists, for the most part, all agree. Human life began in Africa. The first human beings, I'm not talking about apes, I'm talking about human beings, were black people. Black people are the mothers and fathers of everybody on this planet. The black church. The system of racism is carried out in the 9 areas of people activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Let's just talk about sex.
Okay.
Since we were brought over here in chains and enslaved, we have been programmed to breed and stud. And to produce offspring, not that are to be educated, but offspring that are to be further enslaved. And so as long as people are playing with sex, which is what we are programmed to do, looking at black entertainment television that is not owned by black people, and to produce children that we're not able to take care of, that are going to be angry, that are going to be unemployed, that are going to be selling drugs, and then you shunt them right into the concentration camps that are called prison industrial complex. So until we see, it's like why I started out. The system of racism, consciously, subconsciously, was designed by people who classify themselves as white. They don't classify themselves as Euro-Americans. They classify themselves based on their skin color. And the white skin condition is a genetic recessive condition. Black is a genetic dominant trait.
Right.
So he comes out looking black, as any combination of white plus black. White plus color is always going to produce a colored person. 9/10 of the people in the world are colored people. 1/10 of the people in the world are white-skinned people. The white people, once they circumnavigated the globe and found out they were on a planet where the overwhelming majority of people were people with skin color that could genetically annihilate skin whiteness. So they made up their minds, wait a minute, on this particular planet, we have to control all these people of color so that we will not genetically disappear. I don't know if you saw the program on CNN, Anderson Cooper.
When he was over in Haiti?
No, when he was talking to little white children, 3 years old, 5 years old, and showing them pictures, little cartoon, but nice cartoon pictures, about 6 little cartoon pictures of faces of other children.
Oh, yes, I did. The ones they thought was evil.
From white to black.
And the evil kids was the children was the black children.
The system is teaching this. And this is what we have to understand, not wasting any time hating white people. It's just like if you wanted to play chess, you wouldn't hate your opponent, you would learn the game.
That's right.
And so turning children into homosexuals, if a system is about its genetic survival, one of the strategies it might employ is if black women are having sex with each other and black men are having sex with each other, they are not reproducing their kind. They are engaging in the antithesis of self-reproduction. And this is being taught, or whether it's in the water, they've already discussed chemicals that are in the water that cause males to become feminized.
Oh, my goodness.
Male fish, male amphibians. See, we have to begin to read. First of all, if you're overwhelmed by guns and weapons,
right,
you see, and you have to struggle to stay alive, and if you don't learn this religion, you're going to be beaten. If you don't accept this God, you're going to be beaten. And so if a system that is worried about its genetic survival knows that there are chemicals that will turn men into women, or effeminize their behavior, cause them to be attracted to each other? Would they deploy it? The answer is yes. Did I not set up gangs to fight each other? The Crips and the Stones, or whatever they're called, the Crips and the Bloods. All of this is being done as a method of controlling a population that is viewed as being a genetic threat.
Father Fry, and when they wanted, the University of Chicago wanted to take over Woodlawn, they got the gangs fighting, the Black Stones and all of them, and they went into the basement. I always remember back there in the 60s, went into the basement of the church where the Black Stone Ranger was meeting, and Father Fry, the white priest, was giving them their guns. That white minister was giving them their guns, and they were shooting up each other. So you're absolutely right. In terms of CHA, all over the country, your inner cities, whites are moving back to the city, and they're taking over these prime places where you had your transportation, your schools, you had transportation, you had parks, you had all of the things.
Counter it, not by telling white people what they need to stop doing to us, but what we need to do on the black side of the chessboard to checkmate racism, white supremacy, and replace it with a system of justice. But we want somebody to hand it to us. When a man is unemployed and he cannot be a husband and he cannot be a father, then he makes children, and then the system says, if you don't pay child support, where are you going? You're going into the prison concentration camp, locking up the black genetic material. So what we have to try to understand, but it's hard and it's painful, understand what we must understand, and therefore what we must do. Somebody brought up the Willie Lynch letter, and if that letter has any authenticity, what it was talking about was how a small number of slave masters on a plantation can teach and program the larger number of enslaved black people to fight, to make differences, to hate each other, and so they're so busy hating each other that the few people in the big house are in control. And what is the role of self-hatred in terms of economic unity? People who hate each other are not going to cooperate with each other. People who hate each other will think it's legitimate to go into a business and then start stealing from one another.